clicked on this video because you are a student who wants to work for the best companies there are in the world. The big four, the top banks, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, PwC, BP, Boston Consulting Group, the list goes on. And so your plan as a student, you want to work for the top firms in the world. And one of the only ways you can actually get there is to perform really well in uni. And let's talk about this, because one of the biggest indicators, one of the biggest things that HR recruiters and managers look at when they hire students, especially for internship, is your education, and especially your postgraduate degree. Now let me tell you guys a story, right? When I was doing my degree, and I did my degree in international business, my CGPA, my GPA, right, the average cumulative point average, by the end of my degree was a 2.64. It was horrendous, right? And so why was it 2.64? For one, it was because I was a professional footballer, right? So my focus, my priority wasn't, the education. And number two, because I never really found the need to do really well in uni, right? And so my current GPA, my current average grade, and I'm already in my semester 2, is a 3.7. And if I keep it up, I might even be in first class honors. Who knows, right? Let's hope for that. And so my story here is that something has fundamentally changed, that I was able to literally go from one of the most underperforming students in class to one of the top performers. And why was that so? The first thing I want you to understand, and that's probably the biggest driving factor for you wanting to achieve a high score, is your purpose, right? Because as I mentioned earlier, when I was in my degree, I was a professional footballer. I had a really good salary. I was living the dream athlete life. I had less time, in terms of doing labor. I had only a few hours a day of training. I was getting the fame, the popularity. I had everything I wanted, essentially. And so because of that, I didn't really have a purpose that strived me to go for really good marks, right? And so what happened was, eventually I stopped football. I literally stopped the professional football. I didn't want to do it anymore for multiple reasons. And then this sensitive question came out. It literally came out of nowhere. However, it was definitely predicted. I wanted to create a bigger purpose for myself. And so once I formulated my purpose, and I want you to get one thing, guys, and that purpose is very often stimulated by your identity. Who you want to become and who you are is essentially the driving factor of your purpose. And once you settle these two components, you will realize and understand that, okay, now I want to aim for higher marks, right? And so in this video is not about purpose. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to get really good marks, right? And so if you are watching right now and you are stuck with your purpose, let's just assume, for the sake of the video, your purpose for now is to work for the best companies in the world. The big four, the top consulting firms, McKinsey, BCG, the top petroleum companies, Petronas, BP, Vonik. You want to aim for the top companies, right? So for now, let's just imagine that this is your purpose. Right away, you have a driving factor, a motivation to score really well. Because let me make one thing clear for you guys. When I was interviewed by JP Morgan, the first thing they asked me was regarding my education. That was the number one thing that they cared. They didn't care about the previous experiences I had as a professional footballer. They didn't care about so much about my previous experience in a different company. It depends. But if you're a student, I assume you guys are students watching this video and you're applying for an entry role or an internship, Your education is the number one thing. Very, very important. So we get it. Your purpose, right? You want to aim for the big companies. And how do I get this? Okay, how do I achieve first class? How do I get an A plus? How do I get an A on A minus? How do I perform really well in uni? Now this took me a long time to understand, and I never understood this when I did my degree, but I'm understanding it now, and I'm currently doing my master's, and I'm doing really well. So there's 3 things that will determine how well you perform in uni, and it will sound absolutely cliche, but it cannot be closer to the truth. The first thing, and this is the most obvious one, is your exams, right? Your exams and your assignments. And if you are watching this right now, you are lucky because you are living in a world where ChatGPT, Gemini, AI, and machine learning is abundant. So assignments, especially the group assignments, it is heavily used by AI. Until now, the majority of my assignments is done by AI, right? And it's not a good tip to make it 100% AI, because eventually what you want to do is you want to humanize it, right? You want to add some human elements, right? Humanize it, because you don't want to piss off your teacher. If your teacher figures out that your entire assignment is AI, then obviously she's not going to give you, he or she won't give you a good score. She's not stupid. She'll know you're using AI. And so if you are using AI, and I definitely recommend you guys to use AI, because why not? The tool's there, use it. But humanize it, right? Or either A, humanize, meaning you use AI first, and then you basically humanize it later, or initially, in the initial stages, this is what I like to do, refine your prompt, right? Refine your AI prompt in a way where the human element is already generated during the output of when AI creates the text for you, right? And so how you do that specifically, I'll perhaps make another video, but just understand that you can refine your prompt in a way where AI won't make your text look like it's so artificial. That's the first thing. And number 2, and this is really, really important, and this is what top companies even ask for, is your extra curriculum. I'm sorry if the writing is a bit crap because I'm like writing it sideways. Extra curriculum. Big fours and the top companies care so much what you do outside your uni life, right? You can be a straight A student, you can be amazing when it comes to assignments and exams, but if you don't have extra curriculum, then guess what? You still won't get hired. I know countless of students who at the end of the day, they were straight A students, did perfect well, they were absolutely smart, but they did not get the job because they just simply didn't have an extra life, an extra curriculum sets of activities out there. And so the next question is, what are the types of extra curriculum activities I should do? Well, for one, in both public and private universities, even if you're studying right now, there's always clubs and activities, and they exist for a reason, right? And so just go in your university right now and figure out which club or society exists, 1, and number 2, which club or society is relevant and excites you, right? If you are a biomedicine student and there's a society out there talking about the latest research on medicine for animals, why not? If you're a financial analyst and then there's a society that talks about using AI and algorithm for quant finance, go join it. If you are, I don't know, a lawyer and you realize that there's a debate club in your university, go for it. Why not? And I'll tell you one thing, you don't have to be the club leader, you don't have to be 200% engaged in your society. You just got to join it. And you got to join it because later when you apply for these companies, you want to put that in your resume. Because once you put that in your resume, the top companies will know, hey, listen, like you're actually quite interested in the subject, right? Because that's extra curriculum, right? So number 1, exams, assignments, and number 2, extracurriculum. And number 3, this is the most important. This is the thing that I realized so late, and that is your friends group. I cannot reinstate how important it is to have the correct friends group in university. No offense, if you want to surround yourself with friends who vape constantly or don't care about uni and are constantly partying and don't really care so much about the assignments, if you want to surround yourself with those type of people, this is nowhere near, right? And you know why? It's because this is nowhere near their purpose and identity. Those friends that I just described, their identity and purpose has nothing to do with this. As I mentioned earlier, they want to party, they want to enjoy life, they want to YOLO, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with any of those things I just mentioned, but if you are serious about getting applied for a really good company, you have to understand that your purpose and identity has to be aligned in such a way that you can achieve this, right? And so let me tell you guys another story. I'm doing my master's in cybersecurity and my degree is in international business, right? And so from the get-go, you will understand that I have no foundation in IT whatsoever. I never did my foundation in computer science. Thank God, before me doing my master's in cybersecurity, I had to do some prerequisites for like 3 months, and then I was able to basically do my master's right away. And so because I had no foundation in IT, I was worried that I couldn't do my master's well. But I had a really good friends group. I literally made friends with people who were technically experts in the world of IT. They were flipping well versed. They did, their foundations in computer science for over 10 years. And when you do your masters, you see like old people as well. So you see like 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds even. And those people have experience, like corporate experience in the field that you're currently studying, right? And so for me, it was IT and cybersecurity. And so my close friends, in fact, my closest friend right now, he's a 30-year-old married man who works or has worked in the IT industry for over 5 years. And trust me, believe me, every group assignment, I actually partner up with him, right? And so one thing you do, right? Don't get this message wrong. If you partner yourself up with people who are experts, don't do this one mistake, right? Something that I avoided early on is to not do the work. Because if you're just a loaf of bread, right, and you just let your friend who's so skilled and expert do your entire assignment, trust me, number one, your assignment won't be so well because you just drag him down. And number two, he won't be your friend anymore. So those are the 3 things. Get a really good friends group, extra activity, and do really well in your exam assignments. And so once you have nailed these 3, it's almost guaranteed that you either get either one of those, first class, A+, A-, guaranteed, guys. And so I hope that you understand in this video what I'm talking about. If you like it, do share this with your friends. If there's any other topic you want me to go over specifically, let me know. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.